What if love doesn't leave with a bang, but with silence? You don't hear the door slam. You hear the quiet, the pause, the I'm fine that doesn't feel fine at all. By the time you notice, the love you thought was secure is already halfway out the door. It's not the absence of words that hurts. It's the absence of effort. When someone's love begins to fade, they don't tell you. They show you. Through distance, through delay, through detachment so subtle, you almost blame yourself before you ever question them. Before the breakup comes, the behavior shifts. And if you're not paying attention, you'll be left wondering what happened, when in truth, the signs were there all along. Stoicism teaches us to see clearly, feel deeply, but never be destroyed by what we see. Rewritten page 1 content. Is their love fading right in front of you? Here's the truth. Love rarely disappears in one dramatic moment. It fades gradually, in a way so quiet it almost feels like your imagination, until it isn't. At first, it's subtle. The way they stop reaching out. The way their I love you becomes routine, not real. The way their body is present but their spirit feels like it left the room days ago. You sense the change. You feel the shift in their energy. But you hesitate. You tell yourself it's stress. It's just a bad week. You hope it's temporary because the alternative feels too painful to admit. But deep down, you know. You know that love, once truly lost, rarely returns the same. And that's where Stoicism comes in, not as a cold philosophy, but as a framework for clarity, self-respect, and emotional resilience. Rather than cling, the Stoic mindset teaches us to observe without attachment, to accept what we cannot control, and to let go of what no longer serves our peace. Because before someone says goodbye, their behavior has already whispered it. In this video, we'll explore 6 quiet but undeniable signs someone is losing love for you. And more importantly, how you can face those signs, not with desperation, but with strength and dignity. Let's begin. 1. They become emotionally distant. Think back to how things were. There was a time when your conversations were effortless, where even the silence between you felt safe and full. Now, their replies are shorter. Their laughter sounds forced. You feel like you're reaching out to someone who's no longer reaching back. It's not just their words that have changed. It's their presence. It's their warmth. You're still talking, but the connection is missing. You start to question, is it me? Did I do something wrong? But according to Stoicism, emotions are fleeting, and clinging to them can blind us to the truth unfolding before us. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with all your heart, but never let it hold you captive." When someone bids to withdraw, your instinct may be to chase, but the Stoic path says, observe instead, see them clearly, feel the shift, but don't beg. Don't lose yourself trying to hold on to someone who's already slipping away. Because emotional distance isn't just a mood swing, it's a silent admission that something is already missing. 2. They start keeping secrets. Love flourishes in openness, in honesty, and the comfort of being known and still being accepted. But when someone begins to hide parts of themselves, when their phone stays flipped over, their answers get vaguer, and their schedule becomes harder to follow, something deeper is happening. What starts as a small omission can grow into emotional walls. You find yourself outside the loop, wondering when you stop being their safe place. You go from partner to outsider, from trusted to suspicious. And yet, Stoicism teaches us not to panic. You are not responsible for chasing the truth, because truth always reveals itself. If someone is choosing secrecy over honesty, let them. You don't need to control them. You only need to control your response. As the Stoic mindset reminds us, we cannot control the actions of others, only our own reactions. Love built on trust doesn't make you question it, and love that forces you to play detective was never real to begin with. 3. They stop prioritizing you. Remember how they used to make time for you, no matter how packed their schedule was? A quick call, a thoughtful message, even just checking in because they wanted to, not because they had to. Now, even getting a response feels like a battle. You're always the one initiating, the one adjusting, the one waiting. They say they're busy. But here's the truth. People make time for what matters. Always. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, Time is the one thing we cannot recover. Spend it wisely. When someone pushes you down their list again and again, it's not an accident. It's a reflection of how they value your presence, or don't. So don't beg for attention. Don't settle for crumbs. If they no longer choose you, it's time you choose yourself. Because love isn't measured by convenience, it's measured by effort. And if that effort is gone, the love might be too. Sometimes the love that's slipping away doesn't just retreat quietly, it begins to resist you. Where once there was warmth, now there's friction. So let's continue from where we left off. Previously, we uncovered the slow unraveling of emotional connection, the distance, the secrecy, the lack of priority. But what happens next is just as telling, the rise of unnecessary conflict. 4. They start picking fights over small things. The right person won't leave you guessing whether you matter to them. You won't have to decode mixed signals or beg for reassurance. You'll just know, because love, when it's true, is steady. But now, everything has become a battlefield. The little jokes that once made them laugh, now they roll their eyes. The playful teasing that used to bond you, now sparks irritation. Where you once shared quiet understanding, now there's a growing tension in every word. Why does this happen? Because when the heart begins to detach, the mind often tries to justify it. They may not even be aware of it, but subconsciously, they're searching for reasons to pull away. And those reasons? They show up as conflict. The Stoics understood this pattern well. They taught that people are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. In other words, it's not what you're doing, it's how they're choosing to see it. When someone's feelings shift, even your smallest habits begin to irritate them. They reinterpret your words as criticism, your gestures as flaws, your presence as pressure. But don't confuse this conflict for passion. Don't let the fighting trick you into thinking there's still emotional investment. Sometimes arguments are not about repairing the bond. They're a mask for the emotional exit already happening behind the scenes. So what should you do? Step back. Observe. You don't need to win the argument. You don't need to fix what they won't admit is broken. If they've emotionally left the relationship, no amount of confrontation will bring them back. But acceptance, that's what will bring you peace, their late night thoughts. 5. They stop sharing their life with you. You used to know everything, what they had for lunch, what made them laugh at work, their weekend plans, their personal struggles, their late night thoughts. Now, you find out about major updates from social media before they even mention them. Conversations feel hollow. Their answers are reduced to 2 words, I'm fine. Nothing much. It's not just a phase or a bad mood. It's emotional withdrawal, the quiet removal of intimacy. According to Stoic wisdom, when a person begins to close off emotionally, it's not your job to force your way back in. Stoicism teaches us to observe without attachment, to accept the flow of life without resistance. When someone no longer brings you into their world, it's not because they forgot, it's because they no longer want to. And the more you chase, the further they pull away. Ask yourself, why am I fighting to stay in a space where I'm no longer invited? It's not, why won't they talk to me? The real question is, why am I holding on to someone who has clearly let go? Epictetus said, don't seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do. In other words, stop resisting reality. If they're drifting, let them, because holding tighter won't fix what's already slipping away. And in the end, your peace matters more. 6. They get easily annoyed by you. Have you ever noticed that everything you do suddenly seems to bother them? The way you talk, the things you laugh at, the music you like, even your presence seems to irritate them, like you've become a burden instead of a blessing. They sigh. They roll their eyes. Their patience runs thin over the smallest things. And it hurts because these were once the same things they loved about you. This is one of the clearest, most painful signs of fading love. When someone stops loving you, they stop appreciating you. They no longer see your quirks as endearing. They see them as flaws. They no longer lean into who you are. They pull away from it. But here's the truth. This is not your fault. Seneca wrote, if someone is annoyed by your existence, consider why you're choosing to stay where you're not appreciated. Love should never make you feel like a problem to be solved. and your presence should never feel like a burden someone's trying to escape. If their default response to you is irritation, don't argue. Don't try to earn back peace by silencing yourself. Instead, observe, accept, and if necessary, walk away, because the right person will never find you too much. The right person will never make you feel small. The right person won't just tolerate you, they'll treasure you. And I know it hurts. When someone you love stops loving you, it feels like losing a part of yourself. It feels like watching your reflection disappear from the eyes you used to feel safe in. But this is where Stoicism becomes your anchor, because Stoicism teaches us this powerful truth. You are not what someone else feels about you. You are not measured by their love, their moods, or their withdrawal. Love shouldn't feel like a war zone. It shouldn't be a constant fight for validation, affection, or peace. So if you've recognized these signs, don't fight harder. Don't chase closure in chaos. Instead, accept, reflect, and most of all, choose yourself. Because real love, it never asks you to beg for it, worries. If this message helped you see things clearly, give this video a like. Share it with someone who might be struggling in silence. And don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic wisdom to keep you grounded through life's hardest lessons. Stay strong, stay stoic, and thank you for watching.